Hey, thank you. Hi, I'm Karen Bernardello. I'm from Cinema Daily US. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Okay, I wanted to get started asking about becoming involved in the television show. What really inspired you to come on as a creator for the series, and how did that process come about?
Well, I've worked with Phil Lord and Chris Miller before on the 22 Jump Street movie, and a bunch of things since then. And I've worked with Amypascal. She was running Sony Pictures when I first got started in the business. And so I know them very well. They know me well, and they came to me with the opportunity to do a Spider-Man noir TV show. And I'm a huge fan of both Spider-Man and film noir, so it really felt like a natural fit for me. And so as soon as I sort of started talking to them about the possibility of doing the character a little older, and they agreed, it sort of really opened things up for me, and we sort of all got very excited about the possibility of making a show together.
Once you began production on the show, how did you approach casting as well, and especially like the main role, and then going into the supporting roles as well? How did you decide who you wanted to work with in terms of the actors?
Well, we started with Nick. Again, as soon as I knew that the character was going to be older, and I knew that he was connected to, he'd done a version of the character in the Spider-Verse movie, so he was familiar. We sat down right away and started just talking about our love of both Spider-Man and film noir. Sort of started shooting our references back and forth, and he got comfortable with the idea that we were after the same thing, which is to make something really very cinematic. And then beyond that, it was just a sort of a little bit of a dream come true in the casting process. I talked about, well, we have this bad guy named Silvermane. Like, wouldn't it be cool if we can get someone like Brendangleeson? And they said, well, why don't we actually try and get Brendangleeson? I said, well, is that really a possibility? And they said, yeah, absolutely. And so he came on board. Lamorne was the only name I considered for Robbie. I had seen him in New Girl, so I know how funny he can be, but I'd also seen him in Fargo. I know how his dramatic chops are there as well. And then Lijunli, I'd seen in Babylon. I knew that she can sing. I know that she can act, so she was sort of perfect for our femme fatale. And Karenrodriguez, when she came on board, I mean, we met with so many actresses, but it took a lot to find someone who really got what that relationship was with Ben, and that she sort of loved him, but she also wasn't going to take a lot of shit from him.
And once the actors signed on, how did you work with them in terms of like the emotional arcs as well as the physicality?
Well, I think with all of them, they're all actors of great stature and high caliber. So they all had sort of the same questions and wanting to know the whole story behind their character and who they were before the show started and where they're going after the show started, and just make them three-dimensional. And we had sort of references for all of them. I would talk to jackhuston about Russell Crowe's character in LA Confidential, and I'd talk to Lily about some of the great femme fatales from history, with Rita Hayworth or Lauren Bacall. So it was just sitting and talking and working through and getting them comfortable and getting them into a place where they were, way more than just characters on a page, but really fully realized human beings.
To wrap up, I just wanted to ask about getting to work with your fellow showrunner. What was that experience like, and really going from creating the show into being the showrunner as well?
It was great. Steve came on right away. I'd never made a TV show before, and he's really experienced. And we had a really good partnership. And Steve was very supportive of me, like in my vision. He sort of understood that in order to make this work, like we had to be sort of unified. And he just had a great amount of experience and knowing all the hurdles that were to come and sort of helping me navigate them. So we really got along. It was a good time.
Thank you again for taking the time to speak with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.